Hello, my divinities. Welcome, welcome. So, of course, I want to say thank you to all of my Patreon people, especially. You already know you're my MVPs. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today's collective is going to be based on very primal energies. Not sure why, but we'll see. As usual, I'm sure it'll come through. I hope you had a great Valentine's. I hope you enjoyed your weekend or your break. Let's go ahead and get, well, no, okay, only the top one. Let's go ahead and get started. Give me one more. So the card that already came out is called the Judge. Let's do one more off that one. Okay, so the first one that came out is called the Judge. And this one is, the Mentor. Okay. And at the bottom we've got the Storm. Alrighty. So, let's see. So the Storm is number, 47? Let's see, 47. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the Storm. And this one represents the chaos, the whirlwind, the disorder. The Storm's intention is to rebalance your equilibrium. It is a result of precarious conditions, not the cause of them. So this is kind of like the Tower. The Storm lays bare the truth that there are forces larger than you. This understanding is a relief, but also a predicament of power that requires your surrender. Possessing an energy much like the Tarot's Tower card, the Storm undoes all that is. Everything that was solid, known, and relied upon is stripped away by the winds of fate. The ground becomes the sky becomes the center, and then the center disappears. The Storm is a great equalizer. No matter how far we've come on the path, no matter our age, wealth, or wisdom, we can't hide from its savage winds. Their disturbing howls stir anxiety and make it impossible to see and think straight. You must wait it out. If you try to fight the Storm, you will lose. A better option is to seek temporary shelter and a reliable friend. When all else fails, go within. There, for a moment, you settle into the eye of the Storm. When light, this energy is meaningful obliteration and annihilation. When dark, meaningless disorder and dysfunction. Okay. And then we've got number 14, the Judge. Number 14. So the Judge represents the critic, the diplomat, the advocate. The Judge's energy is contagious. When we feel judged, walls go up all around. Similarly, when we feel accepted, the entire world softens. Gandhi had an incredibly illuminated inner judge. He was a lawyer. He practiced silence one day a week in order to hone his discernment while on his revolutionary path. The Judge has an incredibly important job. They work every waking hour of every day, helping us discern what is safe, true, and just. When this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, wise discernment turns into painful judgment of self and others. Ironically, the Judge's energy can be the seed of racism, bigotry, and fear-mongering. This is the Judge out of balance, building walls separating from the other. When the same discerning force is made conscious and healed, however, the judge may be found advocating for civil rights causes, standing up for the underdog, providing resources for those in need, and forgiving again and again. Love is the deciding factor. Awakening this archetype is essential for the complex times we are in. Get your judge in order. The world needs it. When light, this energy is discernment, advocacy, right action, and compassion. When dark, it represents energy that is critical, punishing, unforgiving, wall building. Interesting. And now let's look at number 6, the mentor. The mentor is the teacher, the sage, the guru. Keep in mind how easy it is to project power onto another. The expressions feet of clay and cult of personality exist for a reason. Although it's typically true that parents are our initial teachers, the child will eventually seek a mentor figure outside of the home to assist their growth. It is said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. The true teacher, though, it is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. When light, focused, clear, bright, remains a student. When dark, self-serving, envious of youth, righteous and rigid. Okay, so let's put these aside. And let's tap in. I'm going to be using 2 different decks to set the stage. So we start with the Movement of Swords, which is basically like the Knight of Swords. The 2 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Cups. Overall energy, 8 of Wands. I'm going to be doing, actually, let's go ahead and set the full thing. Let's go ahead. Why not? All right. So we've got the Knight of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, the 6 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords. Interesting. The 4 of Wands, Strength card. Let's do one more. Okay, we got 2. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is the Movement of Pentacles, and Temperance. Overall energy, the Star. With the Hermit, 4 of Pentacles, the Sage, which is the Hierophant, the Naked Heart. Follow that. Okay, so this is basically going to be very much focusing on discussing the archetype of the mentor, the teacher. The Star. Are you a guiding light right now in these very complex, chaotic times we live in? Are you a guiding light for others? Are you using the knowledge with the Hermit? Are you using the knowledge that you've acquired along your journey to guide others? Because remember, the Hermit usually has a lantern to guide the path, right? To light the path. This one has a key. Are you helping others to open up, to unlock? Or are you holding all your knowledge to yourself? Are you keeping it all to yourself? The Sage, which is the Hierophant. Are you teaching others what you know? Are you sharing wisdom, experiences, anecdotes? The Naked Heart with the Queen of Cups. The Naked Heart talks about knowing your purpose. Queen of Cups is about your intuition. Has your intuition guided you towards your purpose? Or with the Eight of Cups, are you abandoning it because it's too hard? Because it requires too much of you? Because you're not really sure if you're cut out for this. You're not really putting in effort. Now, I want to, I'm going to put some extra cards here. The Vulture. The Nightingale. If you're somebody who is wanting to be a mentor, wanting to be a teacher, but you're struggling, the Nightingale indicates throat chakra issues. You most likely have not cleared your throat chakra. You struggle with self-expression. You struggle with clearly conveying your thoughts. Zebra. Could also be with the Vulture that you have some purging to do. You have some either people or situations to get rid of. Dragon. With the Zebra, you might think that you're too eccentric, you're too weird, that nobody will really appreciate the knowledge you have to share. With the Dragon, it's also indicating that's the solar plexus, a lack of confidence in yourself, a lack of appreciating your uniqueness, and also knowledge of self, lacking knowledge of self. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Spider, followed by the Starfish, the Scorpion. Yeah, there's work to be done. To be able to get in touch with this is like a North Node. Where's your North Node in your chart? And do you know how to follow it? Are you following it now, or are you just kind of afraid? Because whatever our North Node is, it makes us very uncomfortable. That's just a worldwide, global phenomenon. Everybody's North Node is going to make them uncomfortable because it's that's the whole point. It's them following in this lifetime that challenge, that piece of growth that possibly has been missing in other lifetimes. So it feels uncomfortable because it's very different from what they normally do, from what we normally do, because it's for everybody. Now, Movement of Swords, whoever this is for, there is there's a desire to move forward. Something is pushing the collective towards taking action. Give me a second. Okay, phone call, take care, sorry. There's something pushing the collective towards taking action. With the Two of Pentacles, there's this weighing out the pros and cons, trying to decide whether your values align with your path, whether this is something that you want to do. I feel like there's work that needs to be done specifically on, we have the 2 and 3 of Pentacles lined up. So a feeling of, why would anybody listen to me? Why would anybody take me seriously? With the 7 of Swords, there's self-sabotage here. Because the 6 of Wands is like, some of you need to be in the spotlight, and there's nervousness and anxiety around that. In fact, I believe that there are possibly portals opening up right now to give you an opportunity. With the 4 of Wands, there's an inner knowing that once this opportunity is taken, your life will never be the same. And maybe you don't see those portals right now because you're a little too focused on, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. But they're basically telling you with the Strength card, move forward, trust yourself. With the Movement of Pentacles, just start. Just do something. Take action. Any action, but just take action. Start moving forward. And with Temperance being the last card, it's going to take time. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take a constant rebalancing, because the Two of Pentacles and Temperance is similar in the sense that we will, when we push towards our North Node, because it's a challenge, there will be times when we will push completely back into our South Node because that's where we're comfortable. So it's a constant pushing back and then pulling back and pushing forward and pulling back and pushing forward and pulling back. It's a constant rebalance until we balance that energy out, right? So it's going to take time. Let's first start with the Star. Clarify the Star for me. Clarify the Star. What's the first card out? The Hermit. What's beneath the star again? Which card was beneath the star again? The Hermit. So this is specifically for those of you who have walked through life. You've already gained experience in something. Oh, look at that. Nine of Swords beneath it. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of worry. There's a lot of, Ten of Wands. Oof, there's a lot of worry. Not only worry, but there's like this fear of, I don't know that I could do a good job. I don't know that I'm the one that's the best for this. Two of Wands, Five of Swords. And so you're making a choice. You are pushing forward and deciding that it ain't for you. That someone else can do it. With the Ten of Pentacles beneath that, there's a reminder that this is your path. This isn't just about could be. It's not just about, oh, you might be a good match. This is your destiny in this lifetime. You chose this. Your soul chose this destiny in this lifetime. And so when you walk through life saying, oh, I don't know if that's for me. I'm too anxious to speak out in public. I don't really know what I'm saying. You're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting the knowledge that you inherently carry with you and the experiences that you've lived. There's a lot of self-doubt and a lot of self-sabotage, a lot of really negative self-talk. So in your head, you are constantly putting yourself down and berating yourself and bullying yourself, basically, because maybe you were bullied. Maybe you've been around a lot of people who made you feel like nobody is going to listen to you, like you're not worth listening to. You don't bring anything of value. And so now you've accepted that as the truth. You've accepted that as this is just how things are, when that's not true. Clarify Movement of Swords. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, Five of Wands. Overall energy, Mother of Swords. This is so interesting because the Ace of Pentacles tells you that there's opportunity right in front of you. But a lot of you, because you expect to already know everything. You don't want to go through the process. As somebody who has gone through the process multiple times, I can tell you that there's no such thing as somebody who just knows everything. We go through the process. And what I mean by go through the process is when we start, we might not have the most polished look. We might not express ourselves in the clearest way. But because we're in the middle of transformation, we're in the middle of turning into something else. And I love always the fact that it uses the classic example of a butterfly for transformation, because when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, they literally become a goo. The caterpillar becomes a goo, but each cell still knows what it's going to be. So there's an undoing. It becomes nothing, basically, from a caterpillar to goo, and then the goo turns into the butterfly and grows a whole new self. So a lot of you who are in the process of becoming undone, you're probably panicking and feeling like things aren't going well. That means this isn't something I'm supposed to do. This was a bad idea. I should go back to my normal life. And Spirit's trying to tell you, no, you will meet resistance. You are going to be challenged. This is not going to, just because, you chose the path where you're aligned with, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. That's why the reminder that, our North Node is our challenge. It's not supposed to be easy. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to feel the most satisfaction and the most growth when we do follow that path. Now, I'm going to read the Vulture because I feel like it's relevant at this time. So let's see. The Vulture, it stands for Guardian and Purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic, aggressive. To bring into balance, clean your space. Sage. So for some of you, the fact that we had the storm and then we've got the vulture, there's something that you may feel is a personal attack on you. And the universe is telling you, no, that was something that needed to be cleared from your energy. It may feel like you're going through a storm, but go within and you will be calm. You will be the eye of the storm. Even if there's all this chaos around you, you will be okay. But the vulture is clarifying whatever was lost, whatever was taken, needed to be taken for you to be okay. Remember, the vulture gets rid of the things that are decaying, the things that are falling apart. So the vulture is also connected to the tower in the sense that when something falls apart, which is the tower, it's because the foundation was not well done. So it's falling apart so that you can rebuild correctly, and this time it won't fall apart. So whatever it is that fell apart for you, are you sitting here judging yourself? Because remember, we've got the judge and the mentor. Are you sitting here judging yourself and saying, oh, that's because I'm not good enough. That's because I didn't do things right. That's because, etc., etc. Or are you taking the lesson and saying, okay, if this is falling apart, then that means that it wasn't built correctly, and I need to let it go. Clarify Two of Pentacles. So we've got the Eight of Cups, Justice card, and the Ace of Swords. Overall energy again, the Hierophant. Ooh, The Hierophant with the devil. What? That's interesting. So that's interesting to me because the Hierophant represents a teacher, right? It represents someone of authority who is helping others, reach their best self. But with the devil, it could mean that there's people that you accepted as an authority, like parents, siblings, teachers that, maybe you used to really look up to. And there's a realization here that they were not their best self. That maybe the things that they were teaching you weren't really conducive to you becoming a good human. Because when we look at it in the context of the judge, right, it's talking about how when people teach us their perception, but their perception comes from a place of fear and it comes from a place of narrow-mindedness, then that's where racism is born. That's where bigotry is born. That's where misogyny is born, or, all sorts of things. So whoever this story is for, whoever you used to look up to as a mentor, as a teacher, you're realizing, the place they're coming from is toxic. It's not very informed. It's not coming from a very high vibrational place. And with the Eight of Cups, it's making you sad to have to walk away from them. And it's understandable, especially if this is someone you really respected. And now the way that they're showing up, you're kind of like, I don't know that that's how I want to think. Like, I'd rather be somebody who has a clear, more high vibrational mentality. But with the Justice card, whoever it is that you're walking away from, whoever it is that you're realizing, that's not really where I want to be. The Two of Pentacles and the Justice card is clarifying that you're making the right decision. This was, I don't want to say it's a test because I don't think it's a test, but it's like you reached a fork in your path, in your journey. Whether you were going to be the type of teacher, the type of mentor that was going to continue spreading hate, continue spreading misinformation and things that were not going to be beneficial to your fellow human beings, or Ace of Swords, you were going to follow the truth. Like, here's something that a lot of people don't know. The medical system, the medical community that is here in the United States, for a long time was very destructive, and still is in some ways. Very destructive because the racism that ran in the medical community was so profound that they even thought that people of color did not feel the same amount of pain than white people did. And so they would be diagnosed differently. So if somebody comes in with a broken arm that is white, they would be given the adequate treatment and drugs to calm the pain. But someone of color, they'd be like, oh no, see, they can handle a lot of pain. Plus, if we give them drugs, they're going to become dependent on them. So, we don't really want to do that. And a lot of people went through a lot of medical issues, of misdiagnosis. Even now, the medical community still believes, some people still believe that people of color are built biologically different than white people. They just have different pain levels. They have, I don't know if even if we're not talking to people of color, it wasn't until the 1990s that women were starting to see, like, doctors were starting to understand in the 1990s, guys, that doctors started understanding that women were built differently than men medically. Like, a man's diagnosis about certain things was not going to be showing up the same way. Like, heart attacks were going to be showing up in a different way for a woman than they would for a man. A lot of people did not know that. The medical community did not know that. Why? Because they had a very narrow-minded view of things. And because their mentors taught them that this is how things were, they never questioned it. Because that's what my teacher taught me. When I went to college, that's what they taught me. So this is about learning discernment. And you can respect someone and still understand that they might not be giving you the best advice or the best knowledge when it's coming from a very narrow-minded point of view. Okay? And so I really respect whoever had the courage to walk away from a mentor or a teacher that was not serving them. Clarify Nine of Cups. So we've got the Son of Pentacles. Clarify Nine of Cups. The High Priestess. And the Mother of Cups. The Daughter of Pentacles. This is so interesting because if this is a family member, this could have been a sibling or this could have been a mother figure. You know, this whole time I've been, well, I don't really want to say it's a relationship, but let's say somebody here, because it happens, right? It does happen. Somebody here might have been in a relationship with their mentor. And I'm only saying that because we get the Daughter of Pentacles with the Lovers and the Tower. The Four of Wands. So it might have been a relationship. But it's like somebody is realizing that the person that they had on this pedestal, like with the High Priestess, they're saying, yes, this person might be very intuitive. Yes, this person might have a lot of, you know, supernatural gifts. But with the Nine of Cups and the Daughter of Pentacles, there's some realization, okay, how to put this? Healers, therapists, doctors, nurses, all that, counselors, shadow workers, we are human, right? So it's okay for any of us to be multifaceted. But being multifaceted does not mean immature, because we're still professionals, right? So let's say this is why a doctor or a nurse, a lawyer, an attorney, which they're not healer, but I'm talking about professional professions. They could lose their license. They could lose their career over doing something like, you know, losing their temper and beating someone's car in. Like, they can't just say, oh, I'm a multifaceted creature. No, they could lose their license for that because they belong to associations that hold them up to a higher standard. If you are going to be somebody of authority and you're going to go around telling other people that you are a person of authority, we expect a certain standard of behavior. Same thing for healers. Like, we can be multifaceted creatures. Like, yes, we can be healers, but we can also be sexual creatures. We can also be playful creatures. We can also be, you know, students. We can also be interested in hobbies. That doesn't mean that we can be immature. That doesn't mean that we can be out here doing wild ass shit and just pass it off like we're just multifaceted. And that's what I'm seeing here, because Nine of Cups, that could be somebody who drinks a lot. That could be somebody who consumes a drug of choice. That could be somebody who, it's like they escape. They lose themselves in certain things that make them come across as like, oh, because the Student is coming up as the Knight of Pentacles. And I'm saying that because the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom too. So this is the Student, whoever the Student is. And the Teacher, which is the Mother of Cups, is coming out as the Page. So somebody here is realizing there was some sort of union. And I don't know if this union means like a romantic relationship or if they were like working together. Maybe they had joined hands with this mentor to create some sort of program, or to maybe create an app or something along those lines. And they're realizing that whoever they came together with to form this, they're like, oh, you know what? I don't really want to work with this person. I'm realizing that they're not really who I thought they were. There's some disappointment there. I'm going to start part 1 here, and then we will continue with part 2, where I'm going to read the Nightingale before we move forward with the reading. Okay, so if you want to watch part 2, please join us on Patreon. If you can't, but you want to support, please make sure to use the emojis that are in the title. Put them down in the comments below, or let me know how this resonated with you. Okay, love you guys. Mwah.